In this video tutorial, we will show how to consider the use of classrooms to find optimal results. In the main window, where the frame is defined, the total number of classrooms must also be indicated. All the teaching spaces of your educational institution will be counted here. The list of classrooms will register at least those that will necessarily be shared by several groups. For example, gyms or laboratories. Of the total classrooms that have been declared, those that are not registered in the list of classrooms will be considered as anonymous classrooms of general purpose. For instance, in this case, 70 classrooms have been declared, while in this list, 14 dedicated classrooms have been defined, so the difference, the remaining 56, will be generic anonymous. Any generic classroom can host the majority of class units. Only those subjects that require a specific classroom will need a classroom amongst those defined in the list. GHC also allows to associate a classroom to each group of students. Therefore, the program will offer you to assign to that classroom all the class units of that group. The scheme we have just shown is appropriate in schools where there is not a big problem of availability of generic classrooms. Assigning a specific classroom to all class units requires an additional organizational effort, but in some institutions, a stricter control is necessary due to the shortage of classrooms or because subject-specific classrooms are used. You can configure the assignment more accurately and, at the same time, more flexible through the sets of classrooms. These sets are created with an identifier, and adding the classrooms can be done very easily using the right mouse click and the command Add Classroom to the set. In addition to the sets created by the user, there is a predefined one, the set of generic classrooms. All anonymous classrooms belong to this set, and also those that have been registered indicating the attribute type of classroom to the general value. The same classroom can be part of several sets. For example, it can be general and belong to the sets cluster and more than 30 at once. The sets are offered so that any class unit can fit into one of their classrooms, but in any case, you can always express a preferred classroom. In other words, the class units can be assigned to a fixed classroom, any classroom of a set of classrooms, or even a preferential classroom and an alternative set. There is an option in preferential classroom whose weight is considered by the engine during the optimization to use a preferred classroom and no other classroom of the alternative set. There is another option called No Classroom Changes that seeks that groups minimize classroom changes between adjacent class units, and also that all class units of a specific subject are taught in the same classroom. The engine will look for an optimal result considering these criteria together with the rest of optimization criteria. The GHC engine is particularly powerful and will help you find solutions that optimally meet all your classroom preferences. It is advisable to increase flexibility in the configuration and, at any rate, be careful not to condition the classrooms excessively. Consider that an excess of conditions can block the results. GHC ensures that if there are any complete timetables, the engine will find them and will make them optimal. The editor will enable you to assign the classrooms on the result. To do this, you have the Change the Classroom command, marking the class unit on the table of the finished timetable. From this window, you can easily change the location of the class unit to another free classroom or change the classroom of two class units. You could even name the anonymous classrooms. Thank you for your attention.